Based on my experience in the palm oil industry and our R&D data, it's been proved that even when we turn the whole Malaysia biomass into renewable energy, example, briquette or pellets, there's not even enough to supply the world demand for 1%. This shows that there is a great opportunity for Malaysia go into green. Before I start this company, that I have a chance to visit one of the palm oil mills. I saw a lot of palm oil waste. This is called biomass. Just dump it as fuel, landfill, and it creates a lot of environmental issue. So then, after I back from the palm oil mills, I have a lot of ideas coming out to turn all these waste into different various products. This is how we start this company.
From a technology point of view, some technologies are already mature and some are not mature yet. So how do we now make sure that happens in Malaysia? That's where the government has to play a role. So this is where we need to de-risk to make sure that people start to venture into those kind of things. This could be small, medium-sized enterprises, this could be scientists in universities, but this could also be the plantation companies themselves, because we want them to become active participants in this downstream value creation. We're actually getting a lot of these foreign companies, big foreign companies. So these are not people looking for money. They are people or companies looking for feedstock, right? But they're not looking for cheap feedstock. They're looking for partnerships, because to them, they also do not want to have a supplier-off-taker agreement. Because if you are a supplier of a commodity or a feedstock, you always will want to put up the price as much as you can, because that's the only additional revenue you can get. So as an off-taker, you're then always dependent on the supplier. Whereas if you become partners, you already secure the feedstock, and you then work together on making it cheaper to mobilize it, so that you can have a bigger profit at the end of the day that you can share together.
We are aware that during our process of the dry long fibers, we have a lot of short fiber coming out. This is become the second waste of the waste. So I just start thinking, how can this waste can become another byproduct or variable product? So we start work together with MPOB Malaysia Palm Oil Board, and this come up with the world #1 palm bio briquettes. And this palm bio briquette is mainly for power generation, is in most of the biomass power plant. We have a lot of demands from overseas, especially for European market. So by doing all this, we have made the Japanese aware about the briquette. So in 2010, we worked with Japanese at the Nippon Steel Engineering. Nippon Steel Engineering is the world #1 steel company and the largest steel company in Japan. And we also work with Sumitomo Corporation. Three parties, we work together to create this bio briquette turn into bio coke. And this is how the first bio coke come out. What is the usage of this bio coke? It's mainly for the Chiba power plant. They use to burn all the rubbish.
The size here is not critical. It's more around organizing the locations, because the distance is the critical point. So if you have a cluster of 5 different mills, they can be all owned by individuals. They can be private mills, and they happen to be in the same area. They can work together as a cooperative and each have an equal stake in that cooperative and decide what's going to happen to their biomass. And they can then use that to form a joint venture with, say, the biggest global supplier of bio-based plastics to Coca-Cola. So that's very exciting, but they can also then employ a portfolio strategy and say, look, I will only use 50% of my biomass for that. I will use 30% for pelletization, which is in the money today, and I will use 20% to feed into the grid for electricity. And then you have a portfolio play. And that's where this is actually no longer palm oil industry. This is really portfolio management of different types of downstream industry. So these require new skill sets. And it should, in the end, become a completely separate P&L, profit and loss, for local companies, you know, to start to make sure that we take advantage of the opportunity at hand.